Day 5, Friday, 27th of May. Back at it again. Here we are. I think I'll call this one working through the need to stimulate my mind, with the connotations of it being in a healthy way. Let's get straight into it. I really believe, hold on. Okay, that's enough. I really believe that ever since we're children and we go where we are past the point of learning how to crawl and walk and say goo goo gaga, I believe that we all, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, so on, we all have a basic fundamental need to stimulate our mind. And this genuinely could be because it's nice to stimulate the mind instead of just sitting around waiting to die for our entire lives, because our only purpose would be to reproduce and then pass away. I really believe that it's nice for all of us to think that we have a bigger purpose than to just have children to pass on our genes then pass away. And with that being said, it makes sense as to why people go around looking to stimulate their mind through whatever that is, healthy and unhealthy things. If we're talking about unhealthy things, we could be talking about music, more specifically the sort of music where they're talking about very dark things like wanting to commit suicide and or homicide. That sort of music, not necessarily music in general, but that sort of music. Drugs, powdered substances, and alcohol. Alcohol is a drug. By definition, a drug is a substance that changes how your body, how your body functions. And alcohol does just that, just like our drugs do. But as for the healthy ways you can stimulate your mind, exercise, reading things that actually are related to improving your life in at least one aspect, those sorts of things. We may be doing a mix of both. We may be doing completely one or completely the other. For me, I'm using this video to talk about me personally. Right now, it's day 5, Friday 27th, and I'm having to get over a hump that I've had for ever since I was very, very young. And that is to stimulate the mind in many healthy ways, particularly not using YouTube as a crutch to stimulate the mind, because I lack in certain things. I think I lack in quite, at least one thing. I lack in at least one thing, and that is female friends. Right now, I know I have the love and all the support that I need from my family, all the hugs and I love yous. I not only hear them, but I receive them, I accept them. And I show the same sort of energy back. I give my parents and my family in general the same sort of energy back. Like saying I love you to my dad for the first time in however many years. Genuinely could be like 5 to 7 years since I last said that to him. Genuinely, it could be. But I've now broken that streak, and I have a healthy relationship with every single person in my family. Every single person in my family. So that's certainly improved since taking this transitional phase, or going through this transitioning phase where I'm allowing myself to do what it takes to really improve my life off camera. If I didn't take this time off, then I wouldn't be able to really do what it takes to take my life to the next level. For example, if I didn't take the time off YouTube, I wouldn't have set plans and deadlines and things that I really want to achieve. I wouldn't have done that. I would have been going about things in the same way because I would have been doing the same things over and over, like making videos every single day. So I don't break the streak. Not breaking the streak is extremely important to me because I live my life with the value of every day is the answer. If there's anything you want to work on, you got to do it every day. So that means you must have something to show for every day. Even if you schedule something, like what I'm doing right now, for example, I've made videos. I've scheduled videos so that they upload for every day as I'm off YouTube. And by the way, I haven't been on it once, not on the phone, or on the laptop, or on the tablet. Not even once. I now trust myself to be able to make videos on the phone without going on YouTube. One of the rules were to keep the phone in the cupboard for the entirety of the 2 weeks. But I can trust myself to create videos and only create videos. I can trust myself to do that now. Even though I was on the phone just scrolling through my camera roll, I have all of the plank journey photos from day 149 to day 162, which is the same thumbnail over and over and over again. But on this set in my camera roll now, today, I wrote on some of them, setting some milestones. Like today I made all the writing on the thumbnails, and I made like 75% done, a milestone. End of week 1 and month 5. And then the start of week 2. It was last day of week 1, that's what I wrote. I may actually have to yeah, well, I'll write down, no, I'll make a note of, not make a note, sorry, I will screen record all of the photos that I'm talking about now. I'll show you them now. reason why I did it in the first place is because I just got so bored. I started feeling really bored of all of the images being basically the same without any extra notation other than the days within the series. It was as in like the Plank Day series. So you'd have Plank Day 149 to 162. You'd see just the numbers. I got bored. I started feeling bored of that. So I added some extra marks, which you've just seen now. On the premise you've watched it. Yeah, man, I think this need to overstimulate my mind, to stimulate my mind, has come from a very young age. And I don't have an issue with that at all by any stretch of the imagination. I'd like to believe that I'm creating a larger purpose for myself other than to just exist, reproduce, and then die. So that I don't mind at all. But I do mind going about stimulating my mind in unhealthy ways. Like going on the phone longer than I'd want to. And going on the phone in ways I don't want to, like just mindlessly scrolling, like how I have done, for example. Like I did this on maps on the phone today, and I thought, no, I'm not doing this with purpose. For example, I'm not looking to see where I'll be living in the future, so what's the point? Yeah, I was looking at places I both have and haven't been to, but even still, I'm not really looking at these places with purpose. Like, I'm like, do I want to live here or anything like that? Do I want to live here? Do I want to go for a day out here? I wasn't doing that, so I just thought, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that anymore. Right there and then I meant not forever. That's not what I meant. I don't mind going on maps, but I'd just much rather it be with purpose rather than I'm just doing it just to do it, just to be able to consume something. I think that's where I've been. That's why I've been mindlessly consuming YouTube for such a long time. I think the reason why I could have been doing this is because there wasn't a healthy balance. There wasn't a healthy balance between creating and consuming. Back then when I was a child, I was doing a lot more consuming than creating. But now I've gone on the flip side and I'm now doing a lot more creating than consuming. But I need there to be balance, or otherwise I will mindlessly just scroll, because I'm not sure the mind is built to just create constantly without consuming anything, without taking time to absorb some ideas rather than creating for the whole time. I think I found my answer. In order to get over the hump of not wanting to watch YouTube after this during and after this 2-week detox, is because I need to take it upon myself to find a healthy balance between creating and consuming in ways I want to consume. I'll have reasons for why I'm creating the things I'm creating and doing what I'm doing, and also why I'm consuming what I'm consuming, like reading what I'm reading and watching what I'm watching. I found my answer. I've found what I want to work through, so I've now gone over that hump. Now I just need to keep on applying that every single day, day in, day out, day in, day out. It being having a healthy balance between like creating content, for example, and just in general taking action versus, no, not versus, it's not like they're competing, but there does need, does need to be a healthy balance of creating content, for example, and taking action versus consuming, and also having some time to break, having some time to relax and some time to reflect on things. But yeah, I found my answer. I'm gonna I'm gonna have a drink and then get back to it. I found it. Come on. Alright. Let me just move the chair real quick. Alright. I was just looking at my smoothie. It's gone so dark. It's gone so dark green. It's been here for a long while. It's been here for hours. I'm gonna throw it away. It tastes so nice though. You may think that looks like vomit, but to me it looks like nature. Oh. Yeah, it tasted amazing when it was fresh though. But I won't be drinking from that anymore because it's gone old. But anyway, I spoke about female friends earlier and I want to talk about it now. I'd like to have many more female friends. I've never had a problem with having female friends in the past, but just very recently, after moving back from uni, I don't really have many female friends. I have a whole load of male acquaintances I know that I speak to, so that's already happening. But females, not really. That's not really happening. There certainly are females in the gym that I go to, but there aren't really any females in the gym that I know. Like one of the guys, one thing I've noticed with the girls that I've seen and that we've exchanged words is just don't really seem like they have interesting conversational skills. This was not the turn that I expected this video to take. I thought I was going to say I'd like to have more female friends because then I'd be able to build up the skill of talking to many female friends, and then I'd build up that skill in terms of understanding in this case a female's character, which I'd then be able to use to help me find not necessarily the one, but a girl that I have absolutely no problems with dating, or girls, depending on what I want to do. That was the turn I was expecting it to take, but I've just veered off naturally. Yeah, it really seems like the girls that I've spoken to, they just don't have many, but they just don't really sound like they have anything interesting to them. I do have something new to say though. I've been writing on a laptop recently. I've been writing my thoughts down, and I've been starting to create thoughts in my mind. Like, okay, if I see this girl in the gym, how am I gonna treat her? If I see these girls in the gym, how am I gonna treat them if I see them? Those are the sorts of thoughts that I have been writing down in the journal, just explaining what I have going on in my mind, not only about females, but just life in general and the things that I'm thinking at this point in time. We could talk about Lola, for example. I mean, there have been many times when she's tried to get my attention from afar. One time, she shouted, "Yoo-hoo!" and then I turned. Because I was in the outside part of the gym. She saw me, and then she shouted to get my attention. That's what she shouted. And I was just thinking, it really sounds like, to me, it seems like she's fiending for my attention. Not even necessarily to want to date me. I'm not thinking that at all. I don't think she just wants to date me, but just based off that. And she's, after that point in time, she was trying to talk to me in the gym once, saying, Oh, I'm not looking for you, I'm looking for Harrison. Yeah. I'm not looking for you, I'm looking for Harrison. And then she's just there staring at me. She didn't need to tell me that, and she didn't need to look at me that long. She was basically just staring at me. She was just staring at me, and then she said it. She stared at me for like a solid 5 seconds. She was staring at me for like a solid 5 seconds, and then she says, "Oh no, I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for Harrison." Fair enough. Lola does train under Harrison's wing, so fair enough. But then she just keeps looking at me. After that, I just carry on squatting. I'm doing some squats. Recently, these past few days, I've been squatting to learn how to. No, I've been training. I've been going to the gym with the intentions of training shoulders, legs, and shoulders to learn how to push through mental barriers. And that day she said, that day she was speaking to me, that I've just been talking about, was actually rather ironically the day I started to figure out how to push through mental barriers. It's been great. I learned how to do it with this one tip, one piece, one thing I tried out, and that has worked for me personally. And it's this: instead of going through the reps like 1, 2, 3, 4, just say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then that's it. Do your set of how many reps you've agreed to do it. So for example, if you've done 12 reps, just 1, 1, all the way up to 12, and then that's you sorted. For me, this is what's worked. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's like, maybe there is some form of psychological science behind it, where that tricks the mind into thinking it's like it's always starting. I don't know, but I do know it works for me personally. Might not work for you guys out there if you try it over and over again, but for me, that's worked. And that was the day that I figured it out. But anyway, going back to Lola now, she was in the gym to train under Harrison's wing, as far as I'm aware. I don't know why it is. Maybe I think that was the main reason why, but that's not my business. Now, she's on the rowing machine. So what happened was, she was just staring at me. She stared at me for like 5 seconds. Well, sorry. In my direction. She was staring in my direction at 5 minutes, and then eventually she was just looking at me like, "No, I'm not looking for you, I'm looking for Harrison." And then she just looks, she carries on looking, and then eventually Harrison comes. She then goes to the rowing machine and does what she needs to do. But one thing that really, there's some major turn off, is the fact that Harrison told her to do 8 minutes. She was basically begging him to do 5. Reminds me of the one time I remember of the gym doppelganger doing some form of squat with David, and she was like, "Oh, I can't do it. Such a turn off. Ladies, that's a major turn off. Major. I'm looking for, in terms of the girls I want to date, I'm looking for someone that has ambition, someone that actually not only does the personal training, whatever that is, or the exercise session that they want to do, but they don't complain and bitch about it. That right there is a turn on. There was one girl that I saw that was training with Isaac, and she did a 4-minute plank without bitching once. Not once. And she had held a squat position whilst balancing on very small cushions that are basically as big as your feet. So it was like this big. She was balancing on cushions that were this big, that kind of go semicircular, and plastic, that had a lot of bumps, plastic bumps on them. She balanced on that in a squat position for 4 minutes straight after doing a 4-minute plank. Yeah, and she didn't bitch once either. That is solid. That's the sort of girl that I want to get to know. Yeah. From there we as men could then try and find out if we actually want to get to know that sort of woman. I'd rather date a woman than a girl, but yeah, if it was a girl that was showing me interest, a girl being my age or older and is in the mind space that I like, an ambitious person, someone that not only has aims and is achieving them, but is actually really wanting to do right by herself. Not even necessarily be the best version of herself, be the best that's out there, be the best that she could be, or which is basically be the best version of herself, basically. That would be nice. And that is a reality. Some girls put themselves in a position where they really are not only planning to do right by themselves in this way, by being the best that they could be and by achieving new things, but they are about what they say they're about. I really do believe that there are these sorts of girls out there. Women out there, sorry. But me personally, I just have not spoken to a girl or woman in the gym that really has that sort of ambition. And if I see that girl in the gym again, yeah, I'd have no problem speaking to her and wanting to get to know her, even if it's just a very slight bit, because we're there to train, not to do chitty chattings. We're not there to just chat, even if it's just a little bit, because we're not there to do chitty chattings and to just chat. So yeah, fair enough. And if I were a girl in this position and this guy's talking to me in that, I think this guy's a stranger. This guy's a stranger. I don't know why he's wanting to talk to me. I don't know what his motives are. This guy could be extremely unsafe to be around. Like, I don't know him, and he's just talking to me as if I was the one that initiated. I, the female, was the one that initiated the conversation, when in reality I wasn't. I want this guy to get away from me. Who is he? Yeah, I just keep it extremely minimal, and then if she carries on wanting to talk to me, then we can arrange to talk. Not necessarily during a date, but it'd certainly be outside of the gym, like just very simply going for a walk with each other, for example, getting to know each other's character more, going out in many different environments, just like how Love Dorsey advises. And yeah, this conversation in terms of like talking about wanting to have many female friends as a part of building up to dating, it took quite the turn, a very unexpected turn. But yeah, here we are. It seems like that genuinely could have been on my mind, that I just haven't really, even that chick, I like her mentality towards exercise more than the other girls, but I haven't really heard her say anything interesting either. I wait for the day, because this is something I can't control. I wait for the day that I go in the gym and these girls want to speak to me and I find them interesting. I wait for the day. I wait. That's not something that I can control, but I wait for the day I find the girl interesting. I wait. That's not even, I'm not even saying that as an insult, ladies, but the girls that I see, not necessarily all girls, that's not what I'm saying, but the girls that I've seen in the gym, in my opinion, they just don't have anything interesting to them, really. Nothing out of the ordinary. Most of them doing the same bum exercises, the same squats, the same over and over and over again. I don't know how they don't get bored of it. I have no idea. Surely, girls, surely you know that there are more exercises than just the squats. Surely, oh, actually no, that's not what I'm trying to say. Surely you do more than just lower body exercises predominantly. Surely there are you guys out there that don't just predominantly do lower body exercises, particularly bum exercises. Surely. Regardless of whether girls would like to admit it, I really do think that they do it at least partly, it being bum exercises like squats, at least partly to seem more sexually attractive. But for me personally, the reason why I do squats at this very point in time is so I can learn how to push through mental barriers. I don't doubt that there are girls that are doing squats for the same reason. But personally, these girls out here that I've spoken to at the gym, they haven't really sounded that all that interesting or take training all that seriously, except that one girl. For example, Hattie was saying, she said to me at least twice now, I train when I feel like. Seriously, miss, seriously. So you only very slightly care about your health part-time. It just does not sound, you don't sound like you take care of your health, miss. That's what I think. It just is a turn off. It's a major turn off. And granted, I don't believe women exist to just impress men, or like how First Man said, just to make men better. I don't know about all that stuff. I saw the thumbnail and the title, but I haven't watched the video, and I'm not going to go and watch the video. I have much more to do. I have better things to do than to go and watch somebody else's content like that. To just try and judge it in this negative way, like watch it, looking at the title, thinking, what is that? What are you talking about? But yeah, I'm not going on the video to go find out, because I have better things to do than just look at what some other guys created and think, oh, what did he mean by this title? Why has he said that? I certainly did do that, or otherwise I wouldn't have let you know that I've done that with that video title, for example, but I won't be doing that anymore. That's what I'm saying. And I don't really think that women exist just to make men better. I don't know what that's all about, but yeah, I don't think women just exist to just impress men. I don't know. I'm not a woman and I'm not a mind reader, nor am I a girl and I'm not a mind reader again. So I don't know about all that stuff. But in terms of going back to the main point of the video, wanted to have a healthy balance between creating and consuming. I think I could have been consuming in unhealthy amounts through unhealthy things, like mindlessly consuming YouTube because I had a lack of female friends, which is a part of like talking to people in general, because there's the male side and there's the female side. In school, during A-levels, particularly like in my last year, for example, it was predominantly females that I was talking to and in friendship groups with. I was in at least 4 friendship groups. I had people from younger years, they knew me in that. I didn't really think I was well known, but one female in particular, who I didn't really like but was just in a friendship group with, I thought she was rather petty. I thought she was rather petty and whiny. I didn't use that word before, whiny, but I really think she was, in my opinion, because of how she said what she was saying, the tone of voice that she spoke in. And I've forgotten what she said word for word, but I know exactly where this happened. I even knew where we were standing. I'm just visualizing it right now in my mind. And she said, the guy walked to the left, the guy walked in between us as we were lined up for the maths, to have another A-level maths lesson. And by the way, for those that are wondering, I did an EPQ on elephant endangerment, got an A on that. I did biology, chemistry and maths, and then I got 3 C's, predicted grades. Those are the A-levels I did. But anyway, we had 2 maths teachers, and we were outside one of their teachers' classrooms, as per usual at that point in time. And this girl who I was in a friendship group with, but I didn't really like, she was saying, how do all these people know you? She didn't use that exact wording, but she said something along those lines. During those times, I really didn't like her, so I took the piss out of her. I think that was truthfully why I took the piss out of her. In chemistry, there was one time I was just taking the piss out of everything she was saying. I was doing it so often that she literally moved seats. She had enough. She was done. She was done listening to me take the piss out of her. I was having a great time. I was having a great time. I just couldn't help but laugh. And even right now, you could hear me giggle about it. Even though that's not the most friendly of things to do, to mock someone. It's not the nicest of things to do. I think it could have been how I channeled my hatred for her. In general, she just sounded very whiny, and she made some petty remarks at me in particular, to my face, and I think that was why I did that. I just didn't know how to manage my emotions either, so that didn't help. I could have just removed myself from that situation entirely. I could have, but it's much easier said than done. Me and this girl in the friendship circle that we were in the same form class. So that's much easier said than done, to be able to just remove myself from the situation. And the school that I was in had a system where if you're in A-levels, for example, you really only have the first week to move form if you didn't want to be in that form for whatever reason. Like if you dislike someone or whatever, and you didn't know how to get over it without not being around them. Yeah, so that's much easier said than done, coming from this perspective where I'm no longer seeing these people, and I haven't seen these people in years. Genuinely getting to over 2 years now. slightly over 2 years now. We left in April 2020. There was still some schoolwork that we did at home, but as in like being in school, we left, not April, very late March 2020. If I'm not mistaken, Friday 26th of March 2020. That was the last day I saw these people, and one of them, who I didn't mind at all, she said, oh, what are you gonna do? No, it was either that girl that I didn't like or the girl that I had no problem speaking to. One of them said, oh, what are you gonna do now? Because I was in what was called the common room. It's a small corridor area specifically for sixth form students and also the sixth form heads. And I was in one of those rooms, and yeah, the reason why I was in there in the first place is because I didn't like being at home after school. I didn't like going back home early after school because of trying to escape that toxic environment that I was in with the whole load of shouting in the house. But yeah, I didn't like her at all. But now that we've had some time away from each other, I think I've certainly been able to do more than just get over it. I called her, in my head, I thought of her as a petty cunt. That's what I called her. But no more. It's not that I've thought of her as an amazing person or anything like that. My perception of her at that point in time was whiny and petty. But just like how I've changed in the space of 2 years, she could have drastically changed in the space of 2 years. So I may have different opinions about her if we were to see each other again. We may talk and she just sounds like a completely different person. She may not sound so whiny, and she may not sound as petty as she once did to me. But yeah, I'm not thinking of people using swear words anymore. No one. When I just said that, in my head I was thinking of saying, no, in the first thought that came into my mind for some weird reason, was Adolf Hitler was a fucking idiot. Out of all the things to think of with this context, Anyway, I think I'm done on that. on that note, hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something valuable. Not Adolf Hitler being a fucking idiot. It's a very dark situation, and I'm not laughing at the situation and what he did. I'm not laughing at that, but the fact that that's what I called him in my mind, that's what I'm laughing at. Not what he did. I'm not laughing at what he did and thinking, oh, yeah, he gassed up 7 million Jews or however many million it was. Oh, yeah, that's so funny. Ha ha, death to the Jews. No, I'm not thinking that at all. Not by any stretch of the imagination. No. Not at all. No, that wasn't why I was laughing. I was laughing because I was just thinking, out of all the things to think of. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something valuable. I certainly have. I must have a healthy balance between creating and taking action versus consuming and resting. I think the way how I'll consume and rest, I've got the resting part down, that's fine. I could certainly make specific periods for rest, not just spontaneously, but actually plan through before the night before, and I could do a lot more reading to fulfill that healthy need to consume, and also watch my videos back as well. That's what I did today, for example. But yeah, away too much. An amazing future. An amazing future. I just have to keep on going. And yeah, we'll all see the results. I would like, all of these videos are just proof that whatever you want to do, you can do it. Whatever aims you have in mind, whatever life that you have in mind, you could do it. Even if you want to have $1 billion in assets in the account in total, you could do that if you want to. And if you work on it every day, you can. If money's your thing, having money coming in like that is your thing. For me, man, I'm not having such an emotional attachment to money anymore. I can't control how many people consider what I create valuable, but I certainly can control doing what I love to do. So I will carry on doing that, and then the money that's going to come in is just going to be more and more and more and more, because I'm providing value to all of you guys here, showing you that you can do it. Whatever you want it to be, you can. But anyway, I'm gone. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something valuable. I certainly have. I'll see you in the next one. You lot. Peace.